Didn't get any, oh, today is August 3rd. Didn't get any inventory done today. Got a late start this morning with some appointments. Had a few delays here and there. Didn't get up to the hangar until this afternoon. I decided to build the EAA benches, work benches. So I went and got the lumber for that after lunch and brought my saw up and got that all cut up and ready to go. So not much really going on, no more inventory, but just working on the workbenches. Hopefully I might get those done tomorrow. And that's about it for now. Wanted to talk a little bit about how we came to the decision on the Rans S-21. I decided to, after a friend of mine built a Vans RV-12, I went with him to Oshkosh in that. Had a good time, and that was 4 years ago, at which point we had decided to buy an airplane, and we had, after Oshkosh, we bought the Cessna 172. And had that, but I always was kind of stirring about maybe building our own airplane after seeing my friend's experience with that, and was intrigued with it. So started doing some research last year, early last year, came to a decision that I thought, maybe this is something we could do. Talked it over with my wife, and she was behind it 100%. She's really excited about it. So then we had to decide what we're going to build. Looked at Vans. I'm a Cessna guy. I'm a high wing guy, I should say. And so that was one strike against Vans. I looked at the Zenith CH-750 Super Duty, and actually had basically made a decision to build one of those. It got down to the point where we were going to be going to Oshkosh last year, and I had it on my agenda that I wanted to go to the Zenith booth, talk to the guys at Zenith, and probably order one. One thing I didn't like about the Zenith was the cruise speed. It's a STOL airplane, real good performer in STOL, but the most you can get out of it is like 100 miles an hour, somewhere around there. I mean, not any faster than our Skyhawk that we had, but it would get us into backcountry type airports. And I'm not planning on doing any hardcore backcountry Trent Palmer flying cowboys kind of type stuff, land on top of mountains, but I'd like to have the flexibility to go into a backcountry airstrip, and kind of a prepared airstrip, but nonetheless backcountry. And I thought that the 750 fit pretty good with that. It's a trike, but I was okay with that. I wasn't really planning on doing a tailwheel endorsement, so made that decision. And a couple weeks before Oshkosh, my friend that built the RV-12 contacted me and asked if I had looked at a Rans S-21. It was a fairly new airplane, and I hadn't heard of it. I hadn't really been looking that hard, but I hadn't heard of an S-21. So I said, yeah, I'll check it out. Went online, looked at everything on Rans, and was super impressed with the numbers. It looked like a perfect fit for us. 350-foot takeoff, landing distance. We could put a Titan IO340 in it, 180 horsepower, so it's got good performance. Cruise numbers are really good. They're advertising a cruise speed of 155 miles per hour. So that was very attractive. I'd really like to be able to get in some short field backcountry stuff a little bit, but also don't want to waste a bunch of time getting there. And for where we live, that cruise speed works out great. So we can get there, to wherever we want to go. Even if it's long distance, we can get there and still have a pretty good chunk of fuel left over. It's a 50-gallon, well, 48-gallon fuel capacity. And so that was, the S-21 checked almost all the boxes for us. It did check all the boxes. We could take both of us, it's 2 seats, both of us, full fuel, and it's got 180-pound baggage capacity in the back. So that put us about 2,500 gross with full fuel, full bag, and both of us. So that's pretty dang good. And the reason I decided to go with the IO 340, I ordered it with the 340 at Oshkosh, and they hadn't really done anything with the Rotax 915 yet. So I hadn't really considered the 915. When the 915 came out, I looked at some pricing on it and said, no thanks. The pricing was just too expensive for basically the same power. I know there's a difference. The 915's got the turbo, so you get high, they cross over. The 180 horsepower IO 340 matches the Rotax 915. I think it's at, I don't know, 8,000 feet or something like that is where they cross over in horsepower, where the IO 340 is dropping off. But the 915 maintains the same power, I think up to 14,000 feet, something like that, which is above that's above my ceiling. I don't go that high. So that's the reason I decided to stay with the 340, because the price of the Rotax was pretty crazy expensive. They're a really pretty popular engine right now. So are you getting tired of seeing the same thing here? The racks and the fuselage and the box. I just wanted to talk about that, and I think I mentioned it in the comments or in the description of, I think, my first video. I haven't decided if I'm going to reveal who I am or where I live. I'm sure some people could probably figure it out, but you know, if it comes to the point where I want to do that, I will certainly do that. Yeah, so you don't get to see my face, which that's probably not a loss. So you don't get to see my face, and there's not much action going on in the hangar right now. So I'm just walking around, pointing the camera at stuff and talking. But anyways. I guess if you have any questions about how, any questions about our decision process on going with the S-21 versus a Vans, like an RV14, I think was one I looked at, or maybe an RV10 versus the Xena CH750 versus who else? Carbon Cub, I can't even begin to afford one of those. And that's another thing, pricing on the Rans kit fell right in line with kind of what we could afford. But that's about it for now. If you have any questions, please post them in the comments. I like talking about the airplane and kind of the options that we're thinking about doing. And we'll probably get into avionics here at some point. I know what we're getting. I'm just not going to say right now. It's kind of the Ford versus Chevy battle. But I'm not going steam gauge. Just going to go EFIS with autopilot, just for a kind of a nice little luxury that we've never had. So anyways, that's it for now. And we'll talk to you later.